Our next speaker is a true advocate for the education of children with disabilities. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Rukmini Krishnaswamy, the Director of the Spastics Society of Karnataka. Mrs. Rukmini Krishnaswamy has dedicated nearly 4 decades to disability management, particularly for children. Her work at Spastics Society, initiating institutional and community-based services with a family-centered approach, has become a model for the government and others to emulate in the state of Karnataka. Her numerous accolades include the Namma Bengalurian of the year 2018 and the State Government Award for Individual Contribution to Welfare of Disabled Children in 2015. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. Fourth wave ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ.
ನಂದು ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡೋದೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಉನ್ನತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದೇ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಆದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಗಳು ಬೆಳಗಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ, ಆ ಮಗುವನ್ನೇ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ಮಗು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ಆ ಮಗುನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Let me say in English, we're always thinking the children have problems and we are the saviors. We know everything about the child. The child has to listen to us. Program has to be for the child. But have you listened to the child? Child may not talk. Child may show by looking at you, wanting to know more, or want to pull a book. That means the child wants to see that. You put it back. Now, the problem is not only with us not being able to understand the child, we have to make more attempt to understand the child. No child wants to fail. They all want to feel happy. They all want to feel happy. Nevertheless, we can all do something. I love that nevertheless face. Thanks to Wave, Fourth Wave, great team working. Okay, now I don't know what, I'm very particular about timing. So if I start talking, I won't stop. So I got my paper, I will start reading them. First of all, I want to thank all of you who are here for attending this wonderful meeting, and definitely a great thanks for the team which has organized, nevertheless, the Fourth Wave team. And I want to tell you something which is very interesting. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, I'm not an encyclopedia or something. Education is what remains after one has forgotten and one has learnt in school. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಬರೀ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಓದಿದ್ದಾಯಿತು, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದಾಯಿತು, ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಓದಿದ್ದಾಯಿತು. ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಆ ಬುಕ್ಸು ಆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದಾ? ಆವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ 80 on 100 ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಇವಾಗ ಅದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅದು ಹಾಗಾಗೋದು? Listen to this. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what has been learnt in school. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಯ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ. ನಾವು ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ? ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಕೆಲವ್ರು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಗುಜರಾತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಗೀಬಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರಿಗಿರೋ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ದೇ ನೋ ವೇರ್ ದ ಕೋಬ್ರಾ, ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ದೇರ್. ದೇ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ದೇರ್. They tell me, don't eat this food. They know everything about their environment. They have learned. And they are teaching me. And when we taught them all simple things, they learned. I could see their interest, but it has to be at their style, not at our style. Okay. So, passionately, we have to be passionately curious. Now, why the child is doing like this, I don't know. No, instead of that, why the child is doing like this today? Let me find out. That's being curious. Imagination is everything, more important than knowledge. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಟಾಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿದೆ. ಏನು ಪೇಪರ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್? ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, imagination is everything, more important than knowledge. I'm not throwing the knowledge out. I'm for knowledge. Don't mistake me. Experience is the only source of knowledge. You're working with these children, write down what was the problem, what you did, what was your intervention, what happened in the next 5-7 minutes. After the child leaves, immediately write down so you don't forget. Only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Piyashi said something, yes, but we have guided us. Okay, now Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has said so many beautiful things to us. Some of the things we are not following because we are not even understanding. Okay, we leave what is convenient to us, we are following. So, education is not only learning of facts, the training of the mind to think. Do we give that to the opportunity to the children? No. You show this number to a 5-year-old child. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are 5 years old. Now, you close. And you ask the child, are you this many years old? Count. 1, 2, 3, the child will say. I have worked with thousands of children. I think that experience is something tremendous. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Your knowledge, what you have learned from books, is somebody else's knowledge. We have also learned. But if you start imagining, what else I can do to help? What else can I do to make certain things understood by everybody else? I think that is it, and it is world bigger. It can be tremendous, and it gives you the freedom. Believe in it. Believe in it. You have to give reference. Medical doctors definitely have to give reference. They cannot work without that. That's a different subject altogether. Okay, our subject from the point of education and psychology, let us just stick to that. Because the lawyer has to. Don't compare with that kind of education. Compare with the type of education we are talking about. Understand? ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ? Education is that which remains even if forgotten what is learnt at school. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋವಾಗ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಏನೋ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಕ್ಲಾಸು ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Strive not to be only a success, rather be a value to the children. Don't think you're just making the children pass and it is successful to you and the child, but look at the value of what you're doing, right, and on a continuous basis for yourself and the child. All the time I'm connecting these two. And never lose your imagination and curiosity about the child. And don't stop the child for doing the same thing. Oh, this is my introduction. Then I have something else to say. Okay, now the topic is early intervention. Okay, how do you support child during transition in child care? When I say child care, it starts right from home. One of the courses I'm doing for my parents is a parent support program where nothing we are talking except understanding yourself as parent. They need a lot of understanding, empathy. And then, why is it certain things they are doing to the child, even the parent doesn't want to do? There are so many things coming out, interesting program we are doing. Now, I have written 6 strategies to help more successful transition. First, tell the child and tell the parent also if you're an expert so-called. Give a transition warning and individual support. If I have to have this wheelchair, I have to tell them, I can't climb the tramp, it will be a dance. And everybody will be worried about me. This is better. I came. It is a stupid example, but at the same time. Whatever directions you have given and it's working, be happy about it, sing about it. Today we did this, share it with your colleagues, share it with the parent to parent should. Use play and children's interest to begin any lesson. And then, I don't want to say more than, choose your words carefully. Choose your words carefully so that teacher understands, you understand, the child understands. That is communication. Use visual cues. Keep them ready. Don't go opening the door at that time and attention is gone. 10 minutes is enough of a lesson. Then it becomes education. How? They can experience, they can practice it. Practicing and even making their own ideas work better is education. give specific feedbacks after transition. This is very important. Everything very good, very good. That's not specific kind of a feedback. Today you did this, my goodness, you were holding the pencil so well. That is the feedback. Very good, you finished. What is an inclusive approach to early education? Inclusion is the practice of educating and caring for children with special needs in the same environment or a setting as typically developing peers. In an inclusive program, children with and without disabilities learn and participate in the same daily activities and routines. There will be adaptations. Our attitude is shown there. Okay, I think this is something, many people have these personalities. Some people may have to look into it, and everybody can help. What interventions can be provided to support children during periods of transition? Early years practitioners can support children by sharing stories about transition or loss appropriate to the child's age. What do I mean by sharing story? If a child is spilling the food, 6-year-old kid in the first grade, all the time, then we say, what can we do if somebody spills the food? You have to clean it up. I'm not going to clean it. You want a bigger plate? Here is your bigger plate. You give the solution. So I don't want to go too many, I'm sure you all know many examples. Observing children to identify behavior changes themselves. See how you did it today? Can you do it again? At the same minute. Okay, and you look at the areas and friendships and encourage it. And through that, you can work a lot with these children. Having these puppets, dolls, and role play, and all this helps in getting children together without anxiety and to learn. I just want some tips for early intervention. I want you to know, children under 3 years of age generally play side by side, okay, with other children rather than together with them. They make their first contacts in this way, leading for good social playing later on. We have to allow that. They are playing, this one is playing by itself, but they are looking at each other. And you'll find in 3-4 months they are joining. One is pulling, one is, and then they laugh together, clap together. So you can see they are getting together. The first 3 years are a time of vital learning that is best achieved through child-initiated play in an atmosphere of adult-approved and support. Both are needed. Here one is done, one is we have to look at. This was said by Piaget, 1963, when I was doing the course. Among others, he suggests that play become a function of cognition. That means using intelligence, perception in thinking about why this water is cold, why this is heavy, by practice. And also, especially with children, play cannot be considered as an isolated activity. That is how they learn. Wherever they are playing, you can also talk to them. My goodness, you are throwing this big ball. Where should you think we should throw? Over there or over here? Let them decide. See what is the thinking. And they will throw something and they'll clap themselves. You don't have to clap along with them, but you say, very good. That's enough. And the presence of a special ability condition makes special families, special children, parents, and everyone is a challenge, and they find even their child is included in everything. And they are playing, and this gives the confidence and also gives them the strength to tell the others, what do you think my child is, he can also do. You should have seen him in the school. That's it. So even the family has to keep quiet and listen. Throughout the period of interaction with the parents, for other and for other caregivers are vital. Whether or not the parent can accept the child's unique qualities, encourage and enjoy the dependency. So the child is going on depending. Then how do you release it? There are ways. Now I can't talk about it for long. Yes, as it is, the transition to independence, all such factors will affect how as the child feels about himself, as well as the child's degree of security in his attachment to parents and teachers. So that is a very, very important thing for us to consider. I don't want to talk too much. Now I'm coming to teachers. This will be the end of my talk. Teacher support. Teachers who support the philosophy, there are groups of teachers. After listening to people like us, maybe whatever we are brainwashing we are doing, you can call it good brainwashing. Teachers who support the philosophy of inclusion. Okay? After listening to us, at least when they go back and they start doing something for the next 1 or 2 weeks, but it will catch on. And teachers' opinion about adequacy of curriculum material which supports inclusion. Okay, this is all experience. Teachers who express that students with special needs benefit socially from inclusion. Who is benefiting? The child is benefiting. The teacher is benefiting. Look at her. She is not isolating these children. Okay? Teachers who pursue that academic expectations be adapted for all student needs, she follows it, adapting the education. So, teacher support is few of this. And at the same time, there are teachers who can get convinced, but it takes time. Teachers who feel that the daily implementing of inclusion is difficult. I'm not saying they are right or wrong, depending on the classroom, depending on where they are. And they will not be interested. Teachers who have an opinion that academically other children, the normal children will fail if there was always attention given to the special children. Teachers cannot have energy to teach both. This is something I have written a lot of school review, I can tell you. Teachers who conferred that inclusion affected the capacity of the teacher to meet the needs of other children. It has come in the way. You're telling inclusion, and I cannot teach normally at all. My teaching level has come down. Okay. Teachers who felt that children with special needs have, whatever you may do, their IQ is low, they cannot learn. They have come to a decision, that is their self-defense. Teachers who felt that children who are good at sports, music, and dance and art, that's all they should be doing. And they should go to the schools of all this kind of art and craft come here. Teachers, that means they're not valuing this. Teachers who assume that children with special needs cannot have a normal life. Teachers who are able to identify children, very difficult. Teachers who felt learning is hereditary, that's what it is. Maybe I took more time than necessary. Sorry. In spite of this, if I had done that. Thank you so much.